About 5 years ago, I read an article because I was interested in gardening and I wasn't happy with my tomatoes. So somehow I ended up looking up world record tomatoes. And I came across a man named Charles Wilbur. And so therefore I could find articles, and I think he wrote a book about how he grew world record tomatoes. So the purpose of this is to learn that we need to know the needs of what we're dealing with. In this case, it was tomatoes, but it lines up perfectly with people as well. Here we are again with human resource management. Well, he's a tomato manager. So let's see how he grew world record tomatoes. First of all, he screened the seeds. He's not using any crazy kind of tomato. He's using the same tomatoes that everybody, you know, you go to the store and you buy the packs of tomato seeds. Well, he would look through the seed packet and look for the seed that was large, plump, had a lot of energy in there and had a lot of potential. We could relate this to screening of people. Maybe it's not that complicated, but we do find the person who has the most potential. So, and then he digs a large hole. I don't know if you or anybody in your family has a garden, but typically you go into your little garden and you dig a hole about that big with your shovel. And maybe you make it a little bit bigger, and that's all you give the tomato to grow in. Now you're gonna water this and the soil will get a little bit soft, but this is really pretty hard soil for the roots to go through. He doesn't want that. He wants to set the tomato up for success. So he would dig a hole that would be 4 feet deep, 4 feet across. That is a big hole. It's almost an outhouse. So the roots have plenty of room to grow through the soft soil. Now, within all of that soil down here, he layers in the nutrients, the nitrogen, potassium, whatever, and even the micronutrients. There's a lot more nutrients there. And so he gives them everything that they could possibly want. He had to go research to find out what makes a great tomato grow, give it the room to grow, backfill in with all of the nutrients, nice and loose. And not only does he do this, but he does it in the fall, so all of this can naturalize before he plants his seed in the spring. Now, you gotta love this, right? I mean, that's a lot of work for one tomato, but he gets record amounts of tomatoes. I'll show you a picture of this. Here is Mr. Wilbur next to his 2 tomato trees. So he digs a big hole in there, and he only waters with warm water. Oh, and it's rainwater. There's no chlorine, none of that stuff. It's natural water, and you don't want to send the plant into shock and give it a cold shower, just to warm. And he protects the plant. According to the articles I've read, he even attracts birds in so they will get the bugs that might happen to come in and get on the plant and start, eating it. So he attracts the birds to protect the plant. He also builds a support. I'll send you this picture or put it on the Moodle, and it's not these little things that these little stakes or this little stick in the ground. No, you'll notice that it is a silo, and it is approximately 28 feet tall. 28 feet tall. So we're gonna screen for a good potential seed, big large hole, 4 feet by 4 feet, all the nutrients, warm water, rainwater, natural. We're gonna protect it, we're gonna build a big support and give it lots of room to grow. We actually have high expectations for this tomato. 28 feet tall. He's going to train it on the supporting it, giving it training, and giving it the proper pruning, however he did that. Protection, lots of sun and air. We need an open area where we can get breeze, and part of this pruning would be so we can have airflow going through our plants so it doesn't get a fungus or something. We don't water unless when they tell us they're thirsty, we give them water. Amazing. And then this is not about like some of the management we see. This is servant leadership, where the farmer, the tomato guy, Mr. Wilbur, is serving the tomato. It is his job to get the most out of the tomato, and you can see that he did. So, for our purposes here, we need to know the needs of what we're dealing with. In his case, tomatoes. In our case, people. So, when you look at employees in the workplace, what do they need? We've already talked about the benefits of the Hawthorne effect, and people need attention. They need to show that they need to feel like somebody cares about them for them to care about the company. So I would put attention and caring down as a need. We're going to look at a whole bunch of needs in the next video with Maslow, Herzberg, and others. So anyway, I hope this is inspiring to you. Not that little tomato plant that you maybe saw at your grandparents back in the day. Huge. That plant was a prisoner in this little hole. And that plant had so much more potential. Now, do you want the 4 foot tall? We got too many 4 foots going on. 4 foot tall tomato, or would you prefer a 28 foot tall tomato? Actually, some of you are employees. Are you a 4 foot tomato that's been starved, mistreated, don't have the nutrients that you need? You get chlorinated water thrown on you? Or are you the 28 foot tall tomato that has everything that you need in the workplace? All of your needs are taken care of. You have no worries, no fear, and you thrive instead of just try to survive. Now think about that. Where on the line would you be 4 foot tall tomato or a 28 foot tall tomato? At the time, that was a record, 28, 32 feet, something like that. It's been blown away since, but where are you? Where are you? Are you happy or are you unhappy? Where are you in the workplace? Are you being held back as a 4 foot tall tomato that doesn't care about the operation? You're disengaged because you have unmet needs, or are you closer towards freedom, responsibility, treated as an adult, given attention and caring, challenged and support and trust and things like that. So I think this is a great analogy of tomatoes and an HR person.